While the daily news situation is determined by corona reports, others drag themselves through negotiations between the EU and the UK for an agreement for the time after the end of the transition phase. A so-called hard Brexit is becoming more and more probable, and the consequences could not only affect the British but also the German automotive industry. Last year, German manufacturers brought almost 600,000 cars to the UK. If tariffs were to be levied in the future, which would make cars more expensive for British customers, this could result in a drop in sales. Buyers have been reluctant to buy for about 5 years on the island because the maximum number of almost 821,000 vehicles, as in 2014, was not reached again. Conversely, the situation is not without a certain piquancy, since it is British automotive industry in the true sense of the word no longer exists. Traditional brands like MG, Morris, Rover or Wolseley left the international stage some time ago. Aston Martin, Lotus, Jaguar and Land Rover are in non-European ownership. Vauxhall belongs to Opel and after 88 years of membership in the General Motors conglomerate has now landed with the French PSA group. BMW and Volkswagen are the two big German players among manufacturers in the UK. The company from Munich with the brands Mini and Rolls-Royce, the company from Wolfsburg with Bentley. It can be assumed that developments on the island in the two cities are viewed with concern. Likewise, the various scenarios are being discussed in the responsible bodies as to how things could go on after the final Brexit. And the prospects are anything but rosy, takes the statement of the SMMT as a yardstick. The Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, an industry association that can be compared to the German VDA, the Association of the Automotive Industry, in the past has repeatedly made specific statements about what a Brexit could result in without reliable economic regulations. Almost 1.05 million vehicles were produced in the UK for export in 2019, and almost 55% of them went to the EU. According to the observations of the SMMT, investments have already declined in the last 2 years for auto sales and manufacturing. The corona pandemic has intensified this development. Thousands of jobs have already been lost now before the UK finally leaves the EU. An exit without a deal is to be said by the SMMT would trigger the most dramatic change in trading conditions UK automotive has ever seen. The argument popularly used by Brexit supporters that a devaluation of the British pound would make cars cheaper and stimulate exports is not accepted by the SMMT. British car manufacturing is integrated into the European supply chain network, and since most of the parts used to be built in the EU and so are imported, cost advantages would be nullified. As diverse as the effects of a UK exit without an agreement may be, the astonished German owners of the English car branch are just as monosyllabic. If you ask about the preparations for no-deal Brexit, the answers are few. In view of the politically sensitive issue, hardly any of those responsible want to lean out of the window, as we would say in German. Only Thorsten Müller-Oetwes, the German boss of Rolls-Royce, doesn't mince his words. A no-deal Brexit would be the worst result for the business, as it would disrupt our globally networked production and sales activities the most. Although the production figures of the Noble Forge with 5,152 vehicles sold last year are rather low. Because of the horrendous prices of the cars, it is about a considerable business volume. Around a third of the vehicles are purchased in EU countries. What we always have said, continues Müller-Oetwes, is that we need a deal that enables smooth trading. In any case, there's a Hungarian viewer right now. Oetwes sounds very Hungarian to me. Could he or his wife have Hungarian ancestors there? Well, let's continue. This would clearly not be the case when it comes to a no-deal Brexit. 9 out of 10 of the luxury sleighs made in Goodwood are for export. A little less, around 80%, are at Mini. A little more than 222,300 cars were built under the logo of the Colt brand in 2019. Of those sold abroad, around 4/5 or 142,300 units went to the EU. With anyone from the Mini management team wanting to express themselves publicly, the BMW subsidiary announces that it is now a matter of reaching a simple agreement that prevents tariffs or additional administrative obstacles and affects our international business production network, and our sales activities are minimized. For the time after the transition phase, it should be ensured that the British regulations and standards in the automotive sector correspond to the European ones. Any alternative regulation would increase the complexity and the cost considerably. Since the takeover by Volkswagen, Bentley had German CEOs until Adrian Hallmark took up the post in crew at the beginning of 2018. According to his own admission, he has no good memories of the year. It was terrible, he said in an interview. He was also unable to provide a statement on the approaching Brexit. Instead, a company spokesman said, "We have been working on contingency plans based on a no-deal scenario to reduce the risk of a no-deal Brexit for more than 3 years as much as possible. They have a clear plan for our business that includes our future in crew. Investments in future models and the company will continue." Well, that's what they say now, but you must not forget one thing. Volkswagen, the majority is owned by a German state. And the other thing is, many Brexiteers still claim that the German car manufacturers will interfere with Angela Merkel in the end, and she will give the UK the deal they want, and she will put pressure on everybody else in the EU. No, that's not how things work. First of all, the car manufacturers made one thing clear. The integrity of the single market is far more important than the UK market. Second of all, they are not that influential in Germany that they can make Angela Merkel press for a completely disastrous deal. And third, even if Brexiteers always claim that over and over again, Germany is not dictating the EU. Germany is one of 27 members, with many having respect for the German Chancellor at the moment. And of course, Germany is a big economy, a successful economy. Some other states do respect that. But still, it's just one of 27 members. They all have the same vote in the EU Council. And so that won't happen. But if you're a reasonable guy and want to support my channel a bit more, either as a member or as a patron, the information and the links are in the description of the video. And if you are interested in more about European or global politics, you either can become a subscriber, which I hope you really do, or right now watch another of my videos YouTube has chosen for you right here in the end screen. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!